if we're having craziness. Sounds like I might be having craziness. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see if I can, if I just take. Testing 1, 2. I don't know, I feel like it's a little. Go. Sound, maybe sound. Testing, testing. Are we getting any sound? Very intermittent sound, no sound. We have sound, okay. Now there's like an echo from 2 mics. That's so weird. Okay. Echo with otherwise good audio. Awesome. Yes to the echo. Okay. Maybe. Maybe if I do this, does that help? Testing, testing. Still echo? Yeah, still echo. Okay. Howdy, howdy. It is fixed. Echo removed. Excellent. I'm so happy. Oh my god, that's exciting. Okay, so. Now, let's see. How's that audio? So on my OBS, what I did is like I have a aux or an AUX mic. The echo was kind of cool. Yeah. So okay, now I'm quiet, which I knew that would be. Okay. So if I take you back to the main cam, you should get a really, really nice sound because I have a new microphone on top of the main camera. Okay, so looks like I'm gonna need to get a second camera for my other, or a second mic for my other camera, or I can figure something else out with this. I had an idea, but it's not working so hot, so I'm gonna run an experiment real fast to let me know what happens. So what I'm gonna do, now I'm gonna do this, and you should have some sound. Now, can you guys hear me now? You should be able to hear me, since I fixed a thing and messed with another thing. Yeah, it totally is gonna be you in a few weeks. Okay, how's that sound? Is that sound any better? Perfect, yes I can hear. Okay, so, theoretically, the sound should be the same if I do this. Does this sound better? Testing, testing. Is it still really, really quiet? No change, but sounds good. Okay, cool. So, that theoretically means that, awesome. Theoretically, that means that my lav mic is the sound that you guys are hearing, and you're not hearing my camera sounds. So we should get consistent sound all day today, theoretically. Oh, scene switch is low audio? Oh, okay. Huh. Alright. That's really weird. Really, really weird. Okay. Still on the Anvil Cam mic. Okay. Is it because of this audio? Okay, so I see that I have a less. Okay, so now I have more. Theoretically. Okay, so. Ugh, this is so obnoxious. I thought I had this like amazingly great system, and where I was gonna take the microphone jack in the laptop and have it pick up over on the OBS, and so then you'd hear my lav mic the whole time. That way I don't have to sync up my audio every time for the YouTube videos, but it doesn't seem to be working that way. Okay, so what's gonna happen today is we are going to be using the press a whole bunch today. So what I think I might be doing is I'm gonna take the Anvil Cam and put it over on the press. It's gonna be a little low, and I don't think that's gonna be a bad thing. So I'm not gonna talk while I'm at the press, I think. That way, because I think you guys won't be able to hear me unless we're on the main camera. So I think that's what's gonna happen. That way, like, I can kind of monitor the sound a little bit. Hopefully it'll work. So yeah, today we are going to be making our set of scroll tongs, which was our viewer's choice project. So this is the pair of scroll tongs that I currently have, and these were made by a buddy of mine, and they're awesome and I love them, but I want to make my own set, so that it's kind of my own thing. And so yeah, I have these pieces of steel. They're 6-inch pieces. These are going to be a much longer set, so I'll be able to like dig into the forge a little bit further to pull things out. But they should function pretty well. I want them to be about the same size, and if the handles, the reins get too long, we can chop those off with the angle grinder or with the chop saw over there. So that is the plan today. I will continue trying to monitor the sound a little bit so that in case it is unbearable for you guys, I will like or I'll make a different project, or we'll do some sort of like Ask Me Anything or something like that, because I don't want it to be unbearable for you guys to listen to. So keep me posted if once I get onto the press itself, if things get a little bit iffy. First things first, we gotta, what happened to my clamp? I gotta secure my press jaws and turn on the forge. So here's my clamp, and if I secure this in here like so, is it going? No, it's making it bigger. Okay, and I'm doing this backwards because I don't know my righty-tighty, lefty-loose with anything, so we're gonna do our best. Hopefully it all functions correctly. So welcome in, you guys. We'll get started in just a second here. I thought I had everything all set up, and apparently I don't yet, so... Alright, there it goes. Those should be relatively tight in there, and we're good to go there. Now let's start the forge, because I am freezing. It was stupid cold on Monday, and it's not much better today. But I didn't want to miss out on 2 streams in a week. That just didn't seem like very fun. So we'll go for as long as we can. Streaming blacksmithing. again. So I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I think it looks really, really nice. Wide open. So I'm gonna crack it so that we still get the ventilation that we want, but maybe some of the cold or less of the cold comes in. Because we are so cold today. Yeah, all steps in the right direction. Our best. Alright. So, like I said, the press audio is going to be really iffy, so I'm going to try not to talk about it until after I come out of the press, and then I will explain what I was doing, and hopefully that kind of works a little bit for us, because you guys, yeah, I'm not sure that the internal audio on the anvil cam will be able to handle the amount of noise that our press makes. So we will do our best. Do you find burning propane makes extra water condensation in the shop? and the width and lengthening that out at a very, very fast pace. So that's how we're working that. Excellent. Yeah, so I have, these nice headphones, and that's why I wear the headphones all the time in the shop. I mean, it's not as bad with just the anvil and the forge, but the press is so loud that if I don't use it, I will lose hearing so quickly. And it's very important to me to be able to hear. Yeah. So, really cold in here today. The forecast said that it was supposed to be in the 30s. It's like in the 20s. It's barely 25 degrees here today. On Monday, it was below 10 degrees. It was like 7 to 9 all day. And I was just afraid that the tank would freeze up on me. But yeah, we're going to get a lot more movement each time we use the press. So the plan for this project is I'm going to take 6 streams for it. So that's 2 weeks of streams. We will end this project on a Monday though, because today is Wednesday. So the Monday that we skipped this week, we will make up for it 2 weeks from now. So like I said, I have planned for 2 weeks. Hopefully it will take less time than that, because I'm making a much shorter set this time. And we're doing a little bit longer streams than the last time. Alright. But yeah, it'll be fun. I'm really excited to share the press with you guys and the different shortcuts that I'm able to use with the press. So as you can probably see from the close-up, the jaws of the press are misaligned a little bit, and that's partially due to where when I was building it and I welded it, it wasn't quite amazingly flat, and so I kind of shifted them a little bit too far. So what happens is as we use the press, as we crunch down, the metal will start to curve downwards. And so periodically what we have to do is we have to bring it over to the anvil and straighten that out so it doesn't get too curly and too bad that it makes it difficult to use. So we have 2 sections of the jaws of this press. One of them is curved, and that makes that crinkle cut fry look, and then the other side is flat. So there will be times when we are using the flat jaws to kind of straighten the curve as well as flatten out those high spots. So it should be very fun and informative. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this project. I do need to do a second set of tongs, but I think that I'm going to move those, or I'm going to do another project in between this set of tongs and my second set of tongs. I need to do a set of universal tongs that look kind of like these, but these guys are all like really wiggly and stuff, so it's really hard to pick things up in and out of the forge when they're wiggling like this. So I need to do another set of these style tongs, and we will do those together. But we're going to kind of sandwich another project with with 2 sets of tongs. That way we're not, all tongs all the time for like a month. It could be fun, but I'd like to give a little bit more variety. Like I said, this project is going to take about 2 weeks. So if we can break that up a little bit, then we don't have a month solid of tongs. Alrighty. We and hammering with the 2-pound hammer all the time. So I can do the press for a very, very long time. A lot longer than I can hand forge things. So, and I'm always going to recommend that you learn to hand forge first, because you need to know like the basics and hammer control and things like that, so that you know what you're looking at when you go to use the press. Yeah, those dies suck tons of heat from the metal. Damn, it moves metal pretty nice though. Yeah, part of the reason that it sucks, or that it's currently sucking so much heat out of it right now, is because the entire press is like as cold as it's as cold as the air around it. Like I said, it's about 20 degrees, 25-ish degrees here. That's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. And so it's below 0 Celsius. So the dies are really, really cold, and it'll suck the heat right out of it. But as we continue going, the dies will start heating up, and they'll suck less and less heat out of the material as we go. Alright, so very shortly here we're going to get an ad break. So I am going to change my clips, and I'm going to grab some water from in the house. And I should not be gone for long. been on a striking team, but I don't think I can do it anymore. I'm just too tired and, you know, my illness. for having really shitty pieces, and so it's really hard to, it's like this, like, I don't know, it's a tiny little knob with like this little pin on it, and you have to, you know, kind of turn it that way. And it came with like, I don't know, it came with a pin like this, right? This one's big, this one's actually for my engine hoist, but it came with something similar to this guy, and all it has is like this little slot here, and so it has this like a little T-bar that kind of catches, and so I modified my little handle so that I didn't have to spin it like this, and so it gave me a little bit of extra leverage. Have you used up the air in the compressor tank and need to refill it? Yeah, so the air compressor tank, that's the really, really loud sound that comes on partially through the press, as I turn it on the press. So, it is like the air compressor itself is self-filling. It's just turning on and filling itself. And for whatever reason, what's happening, it looks like, is the bottle jack. It's a pneumatic bottle jack. It's acting like it's over pressurized for some reason, and it is venting out the emergency vent hole. So I'm not sure if it's just starting to wear out. This one is really, really old, so. I think I know what's happening. Anyway, this guy has a pressure release valve, so that you don't like end up breaking the whole machine. And I think that the air is no longer, like, once it hits the metal, the overpressurization gauge or the valve is engaging, and it's like losing all of its air. I had an air over hydraulic jack one. Never actually used it, but now I see the application. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Once you make dies for it, it's really useful. Half the anvil face is gone, delaminated, or what happened. Okay, so in my frequently asked questions, it should be closer to the bottom of the page. There were flaws in the weld on the top and you can see where they were. There's like little divots and holes on the top of the anvil, and yeah, the plate broke off. So I never actually had the plate on this guy. When I bought it, it was already like damaged, but I didn't know it was damaged at the time. I just thought it was a really neat pattern, and then after, doing some research, I realized that this brand, that happens a lot. So, yeah, I bought a damaged anvil. It still functions pretty well. It's still got a lot of bounce left in it, so I still use it. I do have another anvil that is a fully, unbroken anvil, but I just like this one better, so I use it. Yeah, I mean, it still does have some rebound. Like, if it has quite a lot of rebound still, with just the, iron body of it. So, yeah. Like I said, I like this one better. It has much better rebound than my other anvil outside. So, yeah, I use it. It works. Whatever works, right? This one has a much better horn than the one outside. And you will see the one outside later on in the spring. I'll bring us out, and we'll use the coal forge out there. But I have to be able to move my vehicles outside, or out of the carport. Currently, I have like 2 vehicles out under the overhang, and I need to be able to move them to a point where, they're not going to get the finishes damaged. Alright, I'm going to try for the press one more time, and if I can't get it to work, I will fix it, or I will see about fixing it tomorrow, or acquiring a different bottle jack and replacing that. And then from there, if it doesn't work, then we'll do some hand forging, and if it does work, then that's great. So we'll try this one more time. well today for that. Fixed up for Friday's stream. If I can't get it fixed up, we will do some more hand forging, and we'll finish off this stream with some hand forging. I'm not sure if I can get that one fixed up. Like I said, it's a Harbor Freight special, and it's one of those things where you buy a tool at Harbor Freight and you use it until it breaks, and then when it finally breaks, you buy a good one. So we'll see if I can acquire a good one. There we go. That's better. We'll get some work done. Anyway. Extra effort. But yeah, so we are going to continue the stream on the anvil, and I'm going to continue hand forging. It'll take a little bit longer than it would have with the press. We're not going to make quite as much progress as I had anticipated today, but we're still going to have a good time. I can still answer all your questions. We can, still have some fun forging. effort of a full body hammer, it kind of wins me a little bit, so I'm probably going to be a little less talkative today. Somebody's burning rubber outside my house. So here is our example pair of scrolling tongs, which is the design that we're going to be doing. They've got a nice like conical shape for the nose of them, and this is very similar to what you might see on a pair of needle nose pliers, right? And the reason these are so important and so good is that anytime you're trying to curl or scroll a piece of steel, they work beautifully for that. You can curl them around the jaws, and you're not going to mar the surface of the metal because there's no like corners or anything on here, and they're rounded, so it helps start those scrolls. So what we're doing currently is we are drawing down the reins, and then the handles. The handles of a set of tongs are called the reins. So we are starting to draw this section down. It looks like this is going to be a little bit, or like our set is going to be a little bit longer than this set. So I'm thinking they're going to be at least around yay long. And so I'm going to be able to use them a little bit further away from the forge, and that's probably a good thing, because these guys are so short that when I'm trying to pull little pieces like leaves and stuff out, sometimes I burn the hair off the back of my knuckles, and I would like to stop doing that if I can manage it. So that's what we are working on today. We are working on the first set, or like the first half of them. We will probably continue doing the first half on Friday, on Friday's stream. And then if I can get the press working, we should be able to get a lot further, a lot quicker, so we might be able to start our second half. So what I want to do is I want to work on both sides. So this is one side and the other side's in the forge. And so what I want to do is I want to get the reins drawn out on both of them, and then that way we can make sure that they're the same length. And then from there, we are going to establish the boss, which is like the area that that rotates and that has the rivet in to hold the two sides together. And we will establish the jaws themselves, which is the area that actually holds the metal. So that is what we are doing today. It's kind of like I was so concerned about sound that I kind of forgot to, explain what we were going to be doing today. Raw steel next to the forged steel, and we have already grown about 2 inches. So that's actually really exciting, especially because we only got a few presses with the press. So we've done a decent amount of work, with the majority being hand forged like so. explain a bit in the beginning? Yeah, I guess I kind of forgot what I was, if I even did explain. I've been so, my brain has been, going a million miles an hour trying to figure out, the sound issue that we've been having, and then also what's happening with the bottle jack. And like I said, I really think that the overfill pressure gauge is the issue on the press, or the bottle jack. Yeah, so unfortunately my brain goes a million miles an hour all the time, and I'm just thinking about 3 things at once. And sometimes I forget, to explain what I'm doing. So I guess by explaining it again, I also give myself the opportunity when I'm editing later on for YouTube to kind of get a better explanation. Because when I explain in the beginning, sometimes I got a lot of ums and ahs and likes and stuff. So explaining it again when I am thinking completely on that, it helps me a lot. Then I can pull the best sound clips out of the stream pod for editing purposes. Speaking of YouTube, I got my first hate comment the other day. I got a comment on Friday on one of my YouTube videos. It was the one for the straight bottle opener that I did. It's about an 11-minute video that I posted on YouTube that's a condensed version of that stream that we did. And they made this mean comment. They were what did they say? The comment was, oh, how informative. Why don't you in depth explain a paper clip next? And I just wanted to be all you know what? A paper clip would be such a difficult project to do. Can you imagine, right? So the paper clip, it's got those 3 really, really tight curves, and they're really smooth curls. And so getting a completely smooth round. Give me just 1 second, I gotta change the battery. So I have some dummy batteries coming, so that is the last on-stream battery change that we're gonna have, so I'm pretty excited about that. Anyway, yeah, I really think a paperclip would be a very big challenge. It would be a lot of fun to make. But yes, I'm so proud I got a hate comment on YouTube. I mean, that I have arrived. That someone actually paid enough attention to my videos that they wanted to make a mean comment to me. That makes me really happy. I was gonna post about it on Instagram and Facebook, but I didn't want to dox them or name and shame them, so I haven't. But yes, I have survived on YouTube. But it's kind of if you take the time out of your day to make a hate comment, at least you're actually paying attention. It's feedback. It's they always say, any press is good press, right? So I don't mind, I have a pretty, thick skin from playing MMOs for years and raiding at a really high tier, so like, that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. It just kind of makes me laugh. I do think a big paperclip should be a thing. I mean, that would be such a great project. I was talking to my partner about it, and they said that, yeah, I should totally do a paperclip. So I really think like making a paperclip that's like yay big or something like that, just a giant one, maybe make it a little bit as small as I can. I mean, the smaller it is, the harder it's gonna be, right? So I really think that's gonna be a great project. I'd love to do that. What do you guys think? Would you like to see me do a paperclip? On the wall next to my future play button. Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna have a play button one day. It might take me a couple years, maybe 5 or so, but I will totally have a play button, and I can totally put the paperclip right next to it and be like, commemorate my first negative comment. Ooh, my toes are cold. That's the bad part of having steel toe boots. Like, once the toe caps get cold, then your toesies get cold. But yeah, like I said, I was very tempted to post it on all my social media and just like, a little like cutout screenshot of like the comment. Rivet a little bit better than the rivet I made on these guys. Very true, yes. But yeah, like I said, all press is good press. Any engagement, I love it all. I love talking to you guys. So I have been putting the steel back in the forge while it is still glowing hot. And the reason that I'm doing that is because since I am hand forging this, keeping it as hot as possible is going to be essential. It will save my shoulder, my elbow, and my stamina. So I'm really, trying to preserve that so that I don't regret it tomorrow. Because I am using a much heavier stroke than I normally do in these videos. Let's see. But it also means that I can get a little bit more heats in quickly or quicker. I think for the next heat that I'm going to do, I think I might actually do that in the wide so you guys can kind of see motions that I'm making when I'm using, or when I'm doing these hammer blows. So like the whole body gesture. Is it getting easier to make it and past the 2-hour mark? Yes, much easier. Today's a little bit of an exception. I am a bit winded right now, so I'll probably cut us off at about 2 hours, just to make sure to like preserve the stamina I have left. But overall, you know, I haven't been having nearly as much trouble as I had been in the past. I've gained so much stamina. When I first started streaming, before you guys found me, I was only able to do about an hour of forging a day, and I was doing it every day. So I was streaming a little bit longer, but a little bit more frequently, but less time. So I've gained a lot more stamina. I can walk farther. So like this whole experiment, whether I become a famous YouTube and Twitch star or not, has been amazing for me as an individual, because, you know, it's increased my stamina so much. Probably, you know, like I can walk so much more, or so much longer, and stand so much, standing so much longer. Standing 2 hours, like standing for an hour, was a really big burden for me before the stream. So now I can, you know, stand and talk to you guys for 2.5 hours, 3 hours apparently on Friday. So I am so excited, and I'm so glad that I, you know, started streaming, because I mean, not only have I, you know, started building this community with you guys, you know, it's just been great. It's such motivation to keep me, you know, working towards getting better. Part of the reason I feel like I spent the last 5 years just, you know, sitting around in my house is because I just didn't have that motivation. The first like 3 to 6 months, when I could barely get from my bed to my computer desk, I spent a lot of time, or I went every day, I went to the park and I just started walking for as far as I could. But then I got to this point where I was starting to plateau, and I kind of stopped. I didn't have much motivation, so you guys have helped me so much. I mean, you know, you guys have improved my quality of life significantly. Nice, glad to see it has helped. That's awesome. Yeah, it really is. Like I said, even if nothing comes of this whole thing and I just have to stop at some point, my quality of life has greatly increased. So I'm so excited. I kind of feel like, you know, after a little while I might, you know, be able to take commissions again, and that would be amazing. The reason I don't normally take commissions now is because I don't know how long it's going to take me to make something. I can kind of give you a guesstimate like I'm doing with these tongs, but it's kind of like if I get to a point where like I have a bad day, then I'll have to stop and it'll take longer, and so I don't know when my bad days are coming, so yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do a wide shot so you guys can kind of see the motion that I'm doing, and we're gonna do this. to develop. By hammering on the corners of that, I am backing the material back into itself, and I can reestablish the right angles. I can't wait for spring to see the outside forge. Well, I am excited to show it to you, but it's not amazingly impressive. I kind of feel like when I compare my, this forge to my outdoor forge it's like really not impressive at all. So I hope you guys like it, but it's a little bit of a letdown, I think. It's more of a portable forge. I kind of just welded a couple legs onto a hubcap for like a tractor. On those days, maybe you can make casts for other projects. We shall see. Yeah, it would be really nice to do some, some casting. I think I could do some. I think if I'm actually doing casting, then I think that I will probably end up doing a little bit more small scale. I'm used to doing like 55-gallon barrel size casts. But I think that I would have to use my tiny kiln. So do more like jewelry casting. Cool. Oh wow. Yeah. When I went to college, I was not a blacksmith. I was a metal fabricator, and I also specialized in metal casting. So I've cast brass, bronze, aluminum, sterling silver, and iron. So that's always a lot of fun, casting iron. You cannot cast iron alone. It's a really, really big, huge endeavor. I would never do it with less than 10 to 20 people, because you have to use a special melting furnace called a cupola, and so you charge it with all of the material for burning it, and it's like a coke forge. So it's powered by partially burned coal. It ends up burning hotter, and so the melting point for iron is 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm not sure what that is in Celsius. It's still pretty hot though. So once you open it's kind of like a big forge, and once you open the bottom, the metal just pours out and it never stops pouring, right? So you have to have like at least 2 teams to catch all of the iron as it pours out. So it's a blast. I saw your Assassin's Creed belt buckle. Yeah, that's something that I casted about 10 years ago. I posted a video about it on YouTube. That was kind of the prototype video for the channel that I wanted to make back then. I kind of co-opted the channel for my Twitch stream, and I think it's been working pretty well. So that was an open face mold. What I did was I made the original belt buckle in clay, and then I molded it and I cast it in microcrystalline wax. Did all of the detail work in the wax, and then I remolded it, and then I cast it in the pewter. So pewter is really, really easy to cast. You could actually cast it on your stovetop because its melting point is like it's like 500 degrees. So you can melt it on your stovetop. It's really nice. It was cool. I had a blast doing it. I did it for a friend of mine. Originally I wanted to do it as a piece for a cosplay that she was doing, but it turned out way too heavy to attach to the belt buckle like she was gonna do. So So, because it was a solid cast. I should have done kind of like a slip cast method where I allow some of it to cool and then pour out the rest. But yeah, it was solid and it needed to be hollow. Oh, I've got 30 seconds until my next ad, so I'm gonna wait for the ads to go through and then I will do my next heat. How did your friend like it? She loved it. She absolutely loved it. She didn't mind that it didn't, or that it was too heavy for her cosplay. She has it hanging up in her sewing, her sewing room now. So she looks at it every once in a while. She likes it a lot. But I still have a whole bunch more. Just like metal just laying around. Are you guys interested in seeing brick or like ingots of metal like in real life? I could go grab you some. Let's see. Which one is going to be the easiest? What about this one? This is a 27-pound solid brick of aluminum. So this is what you would use to cast aluminum parts with, or pieces of aluminum like art. So this is not brand new aluminum, but it's like cleaned up aluminum. So you can always recast metal when because the way you cast it, there's like little areas where you pour the metal in, and when you cut that off, you can recast it, but you always need some clean metal. But this is clean metal. Yeah, so this is aluminum, and like I said, it's 27 pounds of aluminum. So yeah, that's, I'm kind of small, but so this is a pretty big piece. So this was given to me by a friend who took a casting class, and then they never wanted to cast anything again, and they bought this. And I love casting, and I spent an entire semester casting everyone's pieces. So yeah, they gave it to me because I like casting and they didn't. So yeah, I'm gonna put this here so that the people who are in the ad can see it, and then I will put it away. So welcome back from the ad. What I have here is a 27-pound solid block of clean aluminum. This is for casting, and yeah, so when for molten aluminum, this is how you get it when you are an industrial like casting for like parts and things like that. This was not like aluminum cans like often you'll see on YouTube videos and stuff. But yeah, 27 pounds of aluminum. So I also have bricks of bronze that are like that, but about 1/3 of that aluminum, I have a brick of bronze that size, and that thing is 50 pounds. So bronze is very much more dense than aluminum. That would be a great short, by the way. It would be, yes. Yeah, if you want to clip that, go for it. That would be such a great clip. But I can totally clip it in my editing software and I'll stick it up on YouTube, but I'm not entirely good at making clips on Twitch. Alright. Let's hammer that back on itself. So what I did there, okay, so I accidentally chipped the hammer and I hit it at an angle, and I put like a little divot in there, or in the steel right there. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it actually pushed this material out that way, and so what I was able to do was turn it to where the extra material was hanging out, and then hammer that back down, and it reduces the depth of the divot that I created there, so it's going to be a lot easier to fix it now. And this is the same process that you would do for a mushroom-headed tool, very similar to the mushroom-headed axe that Yankee was doing the other day. He's filing that piece off. If he had a forge setup, and it wasn't like somebody had ground the end of that because there wasn't enough of a divot in there to bring the material back. But yeah, you can actually take it into the forge and hammer that the mushroom back into the material. So hopefully that was kind of informative for you guys. So yeah, the axe that Yankee's been working on, he's been filing it off. It looked like somebody had already previously been working on that axe, restoring it. They had already started removing some of the material along the top side, because the amount of metal movement did not equate to the amount of divot that was in the back of that axe head. What had happened was somebody had been using that axe with another hammer to kind of like split wood, maybe like harder wood, and they created a divot in there, and all that material that mushroomed out, it could have been hammered back in if it had been properly heated, but instead they kind of like ground it down flatter and continued using it. Awesome. Nice. That's my first clip ping. I do not have any clips, so now I have one. That's exciting. Sweet. So yeah, we talked about 27 pounds of aluminum. We talked about mushroom tools. So yeah, because the person who originally, or who owned that, or like who tried to repair that axe head before, ground some of that down. If Yankee would have put it in the forge and tried to hammer that back, he would have created another kind of like bulge in the back of that anvil, or in the back of the axe head, and so it's once you remove the material to make it flatter, then it just makes it easier to file it off. So he's doing the right thing with that guy. Definitely. Let's see. This is 50 pounds of bronze. So, yeah, this is casting bronze. It's really heavy. So you can see on the end, it's that nice gold color. Cool, figured that was the case. It was amazing how much he was able to remove. Yeah, that file setup was amazing. Yes, shout out to Yankee. He is doing great work with that axe. Yeah, it's starting to look really, really good. Yeah, so that brick of bronze that I just brought out, that's 50 pounds. So that is actually about the same size as this guy over here, which I know you can't see him. But, this guy is my swage block. This guy is also 50 pounds, like right here. The stand weighs a little bit more, so I think total it's about 75 pounds for this whole piece. But yeah, this is a cast iron swage block, and it allows me to get like little divots and stuff like that. On the other side there's triangles or like V's, so I can do triangular shapes. And then I have a whole bunch of like bowl shapes in here. So yeah, that's always fun to use. But yeah, you can definitely see the difference in densities with the different materials. Bronze is so much more dense than even iron. Like I said, that one's about, the block of iron there is about 50 pounds, whereas that brick was also 50 pounds. Can I even melt that all? I personally cannot melt that all because I don't have a big enough crucible, but I have melted 3 of those bricks in an industrial smelter. When I was at school, we did a lot more casting. But yeah, it is so much fun casting. I love doing it. I stuck to blacksmithing though because it's a little bit easier actually. I mean, the blacksmithing seems a little bit more difficult, but yeah, casting is just on another level. When you're doing it correctly and not backyardy, if that makes sense. A lot of people try and do backyard casting, but there's a proper way to do it and a less proper way to do it. Some people do it proper. Quite a lot of material. We're up to about 3 inches now. That's actually really exciting. I definitely want to continue drawing this out a little bit further. This guy is a little bit too fat. We're looking for something more like this. It looks like it's almost there from this direction, but if you flip it, we've got a lot of meat on this side, so we're really going to start focusing in on this direction right here. So we're going to hammer from this side and this side. Aim for about 2 hours, and we're almost there. I think I can do 1 or 2 more heats. So I think I'll probably go or try and go to just on the other side of the ad break. We'll probably try and do maybe, I'll see about doing another half an hour of streaming. That way we're not ending right after the ad break, because I don't think that's fair. But yeah, let's see if I can do about another half an hour worth of streaming. I am starting to get a little bit tired, but I think I can go for another half an hour. Yes. I am going to take a seat. That way I can preserve a little bit more of my stamina. And I will see about warming up my toesies a little bit. Because my toesies are a little on the cold side today. Alright. Let's see if I can refresh my stream manager on my phone. It doesn't like me. I am back to like forever ago with the comments on this. I think maybe I'll stand. Alright. We're about hot enough now. We can do another heat. Alright, so we're trying to get that meat down. Got a bad twist in there. I definitely have to fix that. This is not something I have to worry about when the press is functional. Reestablishing those right angles. Alright, here we go. Let's turn it 180 degrees. We're making decent progress, especially for hand hammering. So I've made spoons, not cast. Yes, I actually have made spoons. I have made entire sets of silverware. I think I might have one, but I'm not positive. Let me look in my cold shop where all my display pieces are. Forks and spoons, but I have 2 knives. So this one is not complete. So this is just something that I forged as a demo. This needs a good grind on there. But yeah, this is a table knife, or the beginning of a table knife. Like I said, it needs a good grinder. This is what's called a blacksmith's knife. It's like a really simple beginner's project. This one is also one that I never got a chance to like grind. So I've also done full sets of silverware before, but I sold them all. That's one that's a project that really, really, it does well at Renaissance fairs. A lot of people will buy them while I'm at Renaissance fairs. So a set of silverware is another project on my list of things that I want to do. We could probably do a set of silverware in between the 2 sets of tongs if you guys want. Is that something you guys are interested in? How's that as a challenge? Love that. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So, yeah, silverware isn't too bad. It's actually a semi-beginner project. It's something like what I would tell you to do if, like, you're, very beginner blacksmith. I'm going to tell you that you want to make, a bunch of leaves and hooks. And then once you make your leaves and hooks, the next sorts of project I'm going to, give you are bottle openers and silverware. So that's definitely another project that I want to put in the rotation. I think that that's going to be a good project to break up the tong videos with. So yeah, I think I'll do a full set of silverware, fork, knife, and spoon. I would be interested. Utensils are interesting. Yeah, they're actually a lot of fun to make. You can make the fork tines 2 different ways. The way that I normally make them is once you have established where the fork tines are going to be, I use an angle grinder to separate them, but you could also use a chisel. So I think when I'm doing the project for the stream, I think I'm going to use the chisel just so that I show you the traditional way to do it. I might use an angle grinder to clean it up after I've done the chiseling, but I think that it's important to use the chisel. Utensils are interesting. Agreed, Mahalo. Yes. That's another project that I've been looking forward to doing. It was one that I was planning on doing this winter. Let's see. I think that my forge is starting to act up. It's starting to get a little bit unsettling, but I think that if it goes a little bit further, I will just change the propane so that we can get that half an hour in. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Just like so. Then we'll do that. Make sure the gas is really, really tight off. Oops, that's on. Still heavy. Which one is the fullest? Let's try this guy. stitching. Come on. There we go. Once we finish this set of tongs, we'll be able to do those. We'll do a 2-prong fork, a spoon, and we will do a knife. Do we want to do the blacksmith knife design, or are we doing more of a table design? Which one are you interested in? I suppose I could do both if you want. That would be pretty easy. We could do 2. Project that it's pretty useful too. It's like a first knife maker project kind of thing. You usually use a railroad track tie or like a clip. So you've got like the railroad spikes that you think of, and you've got the railroad tracks that you think of as a beginner blacksmith sort of projects. So there are these like skinny little pins that are used to kind of hold things in place in certain areas and to tie things together. That is usually the material that a lot of people will use for a blacksmith's knife. I don't have any of that available, but I'll see if I can't find anything, any sort of like files or tool steels or anything like that, so that I can show you about tempering too. Because a blacksmith knife is a great project to, start your tempering journey with. No such thing as too many projects. Exactly. We've got all of eternity to, fill with projects. So, because I will be streaming for as long as I possibly can. Until I get old and I can no longer do it. If the United States bans Twitch or something, they recently banned or tried to ban TikTok, and I heard that the reason they banned TikTok was the live stream feature. So I think that Twitch is safe, but in that weird alternate universe where Twitch is also banned, that might prevent me from streaming. But then maybe I'll just have to make YouTube videos for you guys. We'll transfer all of the audience from Twitch to YouTube. Alright. I got about a minute and a half for this heat, and I think that's plenty of time. Off of this center section here, and I think I'll focus on that fatter section up closer to where the boss and the jaws are going to be. Get a little bit of extra length and skinniness out of that, I guess. Make it a little easier to hold it. I'm out of water. Oh no! That's alright. We're probably going to end this stream in about 15 minutes, so I think we'll be okay. So the ad is currently going. And the metal is heating. So I'm kind of waiting for the Amazon man to come today. I have a couple of dummy batteries that are I'm waiting on getting that we bought from Amazon. So basically what that is each of the DSLR cameras works on these little batteries. They look like this guy right here. So they're kind of a D-shaped battery, right? But they only last for so long in the cameras, and we've been getting the wide camera. It's been cutting off at about an hour and a half. So I really don't want to have to like switch my batteries in the middle of my stream. So we got what are called dummy batteries, and it's like a little plug that you put inside the battery slot, and it has like a little jerky on the video. Ooh, glass blower, play in the mud, and Yankee plays are all live. We'll have to decide who we want to rate. I mean, all of those people are really, really good. I really like watching all of them. I saw that Glassblower was streaming earlier, but I thought that they were streaming like a random video, so I don't know. Maybe they're actually like working right now. Maybe they were taking a break before. Okay. We're gonna get another heat in. Straighten that out again every time. So that it doesn't get too badly curved. All right. Let's see. I think we're gonna do a couple more heats. I think 2 heats is probably gonna be my magic number. I'm really starting to get really cold and my toes are kind of cold, so, or I mean, I'm getting tired and my toes are cold is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do 2 more heats and then we will raid off. If you guys have a preference on those 3 streamers, who you'd rather watch, let me know. Otherwise, maybe I'll do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Pick a number, you know. Overall, it's a lot warmer in here than it is outside of this shop, but it's still a little bit on the cold side. It's really just my toe. Like, most of me is really comfortable, but it's just my toes for whatever reason. And I think that's partially because heat rises, so the taller I would be and the closer I am to the ceiling, it's a lot warmer up there. And then, all of the cold from the ventilation or like the door being open and stuff, that's all like settling to the bottom, closer to the floor. So I think that's why my toes are really cold. But that's alright. Once we clean up, I can go into the house, take off my boots, and warm up my feet. I got a lovely puppy who loves it when I cuddle her. She won't mind cold toesies. Without the press today. We've gotten ourselves almost double the length. And we've got one more heat to go. So I think we can, definitely get a little bit further out there. We are just college when I was going to school, and just some of the names for the tools in there, they're a little bit of a joke, I think. Like the rods that they gather glass on, not the ones that are the blowpipes that they blow the glass with, but when they gather glass to do like detail work on the edges of like the glasses and stuff that they do, like handles and, you know, all of the detail work that they do for like animals and sculptural stuff, those are called punty rods. The heating box, which is similar to the forge, like what I've got, they call that the glory hole, and some of that is kind of like, you know, that's a little bit funny. A little bit funny to me. I think that glass fillers kind of have a, you know, a dirty sense of humor, a little bit. Alright, we are going to work on our last heat of the day before I raid you off. So this last one, we've made quite a bit of progress. I'm really happy with the progress that we've made. I think on Friday, what we're going to do is we're going to start working on our second half. And we're going to do this whether I have been able to fix the press or not. I'll let you know if I can, you know, manage it on Friday. Hopefully I can, because it would make things so much easier. But yeah, we are going to work on the second half no matter what. And then, you know, we're cooking on these tongs. I'm pretty happy. Alright. Last heat. Look at that glow. Progress. I'm really happy with that, guys. There we go. The two halves of our tongs. And this is what they're going to look like. So we've made a really good amount of progress. Like I said, the braid is a little bit thicker than I want it to in some of their like the upper area. So maybe on Monday we will thin that out a little bit further. We'll continue working on those reins. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for joining me on the stream. I had a blast. I hope you guys did too. So yeah, I will see you guys on Friday, and let's start that raid. Thank you so much for joining me on the stream today. Let's go. Go with glass blower. striated